All right. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much, Angela. As she said, my name is Michael, and I will be the dungeon master on this epic adventure. Now, this is our first episode, but this is our third session with this particular campaign, and it may strike you as a little odd that we would start an episode 3 sessions into a game, but those first 2 sessions were really to introduce some of our players to the fantastic world of Roll20, to iron out some of the technical difficulties and really get their feet wet stepping into this adventure puddle, we'll call it. Now, when last we met with our adventurers, they were doing things that adventurers do, like going to the pub to have a drink. But they showed up at the pub at the bequest of a mysterious stranger, and wouldn't you know it, that stranger had an adventure for them. Fortune and glory, profits and gold, tales to tell. So he sent them on their way to find a key in a crypt of an unknown paladin not too far from the city of Ulfdale. Now the adventurers set out like they do, a lot of walking, like in The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and what have you. You go walkabout. And they came upon the site of the crypt. They got a good whomping from some trees and some bushes. Some splinters were had. Some headaches occurred. But they beat the awakened trees and shrubs, feeling a sense of magic coming from the nearby crypt. They went down after meeting up with some nasty spiders, finding some less fortunate adventurer corpses that had gone down before them. They discovered a mysterious spellcaster of a sort that none of them could identify either by species or the language that she was speaking. Now, she was quite hostile. She was super pissed that they were down there. She had summoned up a bunch of undead to try to stop them, but those pesky adventurers just would not relent. So they met. Combat happened. They slayed the mysterious woman, but unfortunately, they were all of them deceived. For the mysterious stranger had tricked the adventurers into removing a guardian, and by doing so, they have set forth a chain reaction of unpleasant events that we're entitling the Crossrit Crisis. At this time, I would like to turn it over to our players so they can introduce themselves. And Angela, you're the first person I see on my screen, so why don't we start with you?
Okay. Well, hi everyone. My name is Angela. I am playing Delamira. She is a half-elf bard. So, yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see what she has in store and her character and stuff.
Tom, why don't we bounce to you next?
I'm Tom Gore. I play the character Vagan Broad of the House of Broad, son of Sir Heavy and Lady Sun. And as a noble, he is unequipped to restore Flandern to glory and increase his coffers.
All right, Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg, also known as Margaret Alice. And I'm playing Rieswin Gorin, a mountain dwarf from the northwestern province of Cleta, descendant of a long line of treasure hunters hoping to achieve some of their early glory.
All right, Danielle, let's hear from you.
Hello, I'm Danielle, and I will be playing Micaiah, the halfling cleric, and I'm Tater Tots here. Yeah, he is also playing along with us. Micaiah has a support pug who is her familiar that travels with her everywhere they go.
All right. John.
Hi, I'm John. I'm playing Pebble. I'm a half-orc warlock. Ready to melt some faces.
All right, face melter. And last but certainly not least, Mariah.
Hi, I'm Mariah. I'm playing Gray Stonehelm. I am a Goliath fighter who was orphaned as a child and raised by dwarfs.
All right, what a motley crew you are. Now, when last we left our adventurers, they had succeeded in slaying the mysterious spellcaster, but in doing so, they've unleashed some unknown energy into the world, pleasing the mysterious stranger. After they slayed her, he came in, knocked everybody prone, gave a little bit of that villain kind of speech, some pedantic clapping, applause, and then he unleashed some form of power into a channeling chamber out of the crypt, and then he disappeared through a portal. So now our adventurers have picked themselves back up. They made their way back out of the tomb, and they have discovered that the sky outside of the tomb has turned an unpleasant crimson. The weather is a bit unpleasant as well, a bit blustery and windy and unpleasant. I'm going to say unpleasant like 6 more times, I think. It's unpleasant, y'all. That's the crux of the matter. All right, it's your game.
I feel unpleasant.
This doesn't look right.
Now, before the mysterious stranger disappeared, he did sort of chide you guys by saying that he did indeed make good on his offer. He is a man of his word, so to speak. He didn't really do anything that he didn't say he was going to do. So back in the town of Ulfdale at the tavern, the Limping Slod, you guys have a reward waiting for you. So that may be a direction that you want to consider heading.
Yeah,
I like money.
Yeah.
I like rewards.
Yeah, let's at least go check out a reward for.
We should go back to the tavern and find those 2 people who are obviously hanging out with that dude and question them.
Oh yeah.
Severely
have a
question
clue.
them.
That is an excellent idea. You guys were being reckless eyeballed by some NPCs. All right.
Reckless eyeballed.
People screw facing us.
Tater Tot
So-
will pull on their
I was about to
heels of
say.
their pants.
When we
So
get
you
there,
guys-
we're gonna have tater tots sniff them out.
All right. So you guys head back roughly the way you guys came to head back into town. When you get to the town's border, which I'm just going to drag our players over to our main town map. This is not a player map. This is just so you guys can see where we are. Ulfdale. When you guys get to the border of the town, the sky is still unpleasant and the wind is still howling and people are panicking. You make your way down one of the main promenades back towards the pub. Shops are boarding up their doors and windows. People are loading up carts to leave town, some of them. You make your way to the center of the city at the southern edge of the trade district, headed towards the tavern. You see over towards the north, near the keep, coming from the keep, the temple is also in that district. You see a group of paladins, all getting armored up and gung-ho. Some monks and priests out doing some chanting and praying. Things in town are scary. People are freaked out. Art imitates life. Am I right?
Cool.
So you guys head inside to the pub.
Hey, actually, as we walk by those monks, can we reach out real quick and ask them if they know what's going on? Since it seems like
that's a great question. Most of them are too panicked and talking to each other to try to come up with their plan to really answer you. But one of the younger monks steps aside and says, we're not sure. The sergeant up at the keep said something about a prophecy, and we're headed out to one of the places of power nearby to see if the masters can glean any information as to what's happening. But I don't have any more information than that. And he gets yelled at by his superior. What did you say, Tom? I'm sorry.
Where's this place of power?
The place of power is to the northwest of the city.
Okay.
Cool. And who had details about the prophecy, or who mentioned it?
It was the sergeant at the nearby keep.
Okay.
So we got to see those.
Yeah.
So after we find the people, we're gonna go find this dude.
Go find the keep. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go get our money and sniff out those people, and then we'll head to the keep.
All
Does
right.
Vengeance.
Want to be an apocalypse apologizer?
Do what?
Does anyone want to be the apocalypse apologizer?
No.
Let's
that's gonna be-
for
Someone knows
now.
who
We
did
might
it.
not want to. Yeah, we not want
That's
to
all
mention
right. I don't
anything.
need monks with pitchforks and torches running after
Right.
us.
We deny.
All right.
Good night.
Nice.
So you guys head into the Limping Slod. It is.
Are they there?
It is abandoned. You guys can now drag your icons onto the map. The tavern is empty, except for the barkeep, who is looking very morose as he wipes down some mugs. All right, so you guys are all in the tavern now. All right, it's your game.
What was this?
Who's who?
Is there somebody behind the bar?
Yes, the bar, same barkeep that was there last time.
All right, someone go threaten him.
Barkeep.
I'll ask him where the other people are.
Let's ask him nicely first, maybe.
Nicely,
About,
okay.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's start with a diplomatic approach, I guess.
He's a dwarf, right? Like he's
the dwarf. Yep.
yes.
Yeah, so maybe I'll talk to him.
Go for it.
Yeah. Barkeep, I believe you may be holding on to something that belongs to our party now.
Oh, right. You lot of those adventurers that were in here earlier. Bloody hell. Yeah, right. I'll be right back. He steps away for a second into one of the back rooms and comes back with a modest-sized chest. He sets it down and opens it up. Inside there, you can see a piece of parchment that has that same seal that was on the mysterious note that you guys got. And he deals out 6 rather hefty purses containing 500 gold pieces each. He shakes his head and goes, "Oh, terrible day that was, terrible day."
Apparently, he doesn't need this
Can you
thing had no need for
inquire
money.
about the sergeant?
Yeah, I'm actually going to inquire first about the man who hired us. Barkeep, what do you know of the man who asked you to hang on to this chest?
He puts his mug down and strokes his long beard, kind of staring off and shaking his head for a minute. And he says, "You know, lass, it's the damnedest thing. The man walked into the door, and then I swear, I don't have the foggiest idea of what happened after that. It's like I was put under some kind of spell or something. Anyway, this parchment was inside this box that had very explicit instructions that I give these satchels of gold to everyone fitting your descriptions."
I see. So you'd never seen this gentleman before?
I'd never seen hog nor hair of him, ma'am.
All right.
Nasty bit of business going on outside there, ain't there, though?
Indeed.
Hey, ask him about his companions, those other 2 people.
Yes, there were 2 others in the tavern when we arrived. Were they regulars? Did you know of them?
My memory's a bit fuzzy. Could you describe them to me? This is the part where the DM tests if you guys were listening and paying attention.
There's like a lizard person. One of them was like a lizard person.
No.
One was one was a turtle, one was a she-orc.
There we
go.
I hate to do it because I know it's just going to go straight to his head. I'm going to award 1 point of Dungeon Master inspiration to Tom Gore, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
He'll be able to cash that in a little bit later. He says, a she-orc and a turtle. An odd pairing. I do seem to recollect seeing them a few times, but they're certainly not from around here. I don't believe that they were friends with that bloke. They seemed to be staring daggers at him the entire time that they were here.
Possible allies.
If they don't kill us.
Do you know where they went?
Unfortunately, love, I very seldom leave the tavern. I sleep in a cot or in the room around the back. Folks aren't super kind to dwarves in this town. So I tend to keep to myself. You might want to inquire up at the keep, though. They have lots of eyes and ears that mill about the town. They may be able to give you some information about those 2.
We heard about a sergeant up at the keep. Can you tell us anything about this fella?
Yes, Sergeant Gels, I believe. Good man. A bit brash and headstrong, I think. But noble nonetheless. He kind of is the de facto leader of the town, as we're governed by a larger principality, and that's the only bit of leadership that they can afford us. I imagine that they're all up in a tizzy up there with what's going on outside.
Very true. Wonder how that happened.
Yeah, crazy, right?
No, right?
Mhm.
This weather is so weird.
That's the damnedest thing. Red sky and all. Not the first apocalypse that I've lived through, though.
I'm gonna tip the bartender and thank him for his information.
What happened last time?
Well, tell me about. I want to know about the other apocalypse.
Yeah, what happened before and how?
I see. Before I made my way here, I recalled a great flood that came out of the sea and brought with it all sorts of nasty little crustacean-y critters. Pretty much wiped out the entire seaboard at that point in time. That was ages ago. He takes the tip. He takes the tip from Gray and smiles, and then he gestures to the large drinking cask down the way. That's full of honey mead. I don't expect I'm going to have very many clientele over the next little while, and I don't want it to go bad. So please feel free to help yourselves.
I'm gonna fill up a flask on the way out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna help myself to some
Cheers.
drink.
Go.
Okay. I think we know what to
Onward
do.
to the keep.
Well,
You know,
before we
last
go,
time-
go
the
ahead.
last time we left this pub inebriated, we started the apocalypse. This is going to be great, guys. Let's make sure we go out half tanked.
It's how we make our best decisions.
You got to grease the wheels, y'all. You got to grease the wheels.
Take those bushes' asses, though. I have to say, we did well, even though we were slightly tipsy.
A wee bit of the creature goes a long way.
We did. I think we did good.
Micaiah, what did you want to do before we leave?
Can we do like a investigation to see if there's any things, anything else other than alcohol we should take with us in this place?
Did our Tortle and She-Orc friends leave a note on the fridge?
No, sir.
Does anyone
What's a fridge?
on how to stop?
Ice chest.
I think it actually would have just been a hole in the ground with a lid. Probably a larder. That's right?
Larder?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Somebody
I think-
look that up.
An ice cold wizard
Yeah.
magic spell cast.
He's got an ice wizard gagged and tied up down in the basement.
Basement.
That keeps his stores fresh.
You're a small screen.
Man, I should have been an ice wizard. This sounds like a great profession.
He keeps an imp familiar that's made out of baking soda.
I mean, all the free drink you can handle.
Frosted mugs.
Now, Micaiah, are you using your familiar's ability to sniff around in this place? Because you can only do that once a day.
Oh, not Tater Tot's ability. Not
Okay. I mean, he's got
looking around.
He's got food stores. The shelves behind him have some various dry goods, dried meats and vegetables and fruits. A couple of jars of honestly, you probably wouldn't be able to guess looking at them. Some mixed nuts. The D&D equivalent of trail mix.
Might he spare some rations?
That sounds
Need
delicious.
only the M&Ms, please.
Just you pick out the raisins.
All right, so nothing of
Not
interest.
raisins.
Oh,
All right, so I guess we should go.
Product placement.
Oh my God, you have M&Ms. Perfect.
Get the giant bag of M&Ms.
We only
In
want
case you
the
don't
green
know how
ones.
big my hand is, this is
The
like
orange
all
one.
of the M&Ms.
I wish they'd make like an Eldritch Blast purple M&M.
Oh, that would be the heat. I'd just throw them at the
All right.
screen.
What are you lot gonna do?
We're headed to the keep.
You're headed to the keep. All right.
That's that dude. If he knows where those other people are,
Sergeant
he knows
Gray.
everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
To keep.
So
Thanks
you guys head out.
Very much, and tip him our extra 2 gold pieces that we couldn't split.
He smiles and nods and thank you kindly and continues to scrub the same cup that he's been scrubbing this entire time. All right, so you guys head outside, and again there are people milling about and panicking in the streets. There's some people up on their balconies looking up at the red sky and praying. It is again, what's the word?
Unpleasant.
There we go. All right, so you guys head out and make your way up to the northwest of the city and head to the keep, which is right here.
Ooh.
I made that.
Skillful.
Good job.
I like those little horses.
Fancy.
I was just experimenting with some stuff, some resources. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drag everybody onto the map. Now, when you guys make your way up there are various soldiers milling around. And why did there? Okay, no.
Dragged myself.
Oh, you dragged yourself. Oh, you're a strong.
I dragged
independent
myself.
Goliath.
I dragged myself. I have 2 me's.
Everybody's repeating now. There's 2 of everyone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh God. Well, there's a delay. So, like, literally every time I dragged one of you out, a second one appeared.
Ran into our
All right,
doppelgangers.
is everybody on the map now?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yes.
So as you guys make your way up towards the keep, it's got tall 45-foot walls, ballasts on all the corners and edges. There are archers up there that are keeping a weathered eye in all directions, watching the sky. There's some groups of soldiers milling around near some storage sheds towards the front of the keep. You hear some shouting coming from the interior of the walls.
Should we
Does it sound like it's coming from the sergeant we want to talk to?
Probably.
Let's go to the shouter.
Yes.
All right, so you approach the makeshift gate. You can tell that this keep wasn't necessarily built this way. It doesn't have a main gate. It's like they pretty much took the busted corner of the wall, refinished the cracked stones to make a would-be entrance into the structure. There are 2 very well armored and armed knights standing there. And as you approach, they hold their hands up. State your business.
Oh, all the way over there?
Way over here?
No, you're over here. You're at the gate. You haven't come in yet.
I'm going to use my nobleness and persuasion. Persuasion.
Hey, all right.
There you go. Still not bad.
That's a pretty good roll to start things off. Let's hope that trend continues, because it's only going to get hairier from here.
Because obviously I'm going to say the right things coming off half tanked.
Yeah, obviously. All right, so you approach the 2 of them and explain to them that you're a group of adventurers until you guys figure out what you're going to call yourselves, and you're just looking to help folks out, I'm guessing.
Yeah. We'll mention that, like red sky and all, seeing if we can help out.
All right, so they nod and wave you in, and one of them points with his halberd to another knight who has a brilliant red cape, who is shouting orders at a couple of other soldiers that are running around. Clearly, he's the one that you need to be talking to.
Sergeant, we heard that you may know something of a prophecy. Could you fill us in, please? We need help.
Move in now. Come on now. There you go. Because I gotta zoom up my map, my thing in, because everybody's so tiny. All right.
Tiny.
So you approach the sergeant. He kind of gives you a quirked look up and down and says, "What business do you have in the keep?"
We're here to help.
You're here to help what? He says, looking at the half orc. Again, perplexed, probably a little frustrated. Are you here to help with the masonry? Are you here to help forge some more swords? Are you here to help fletch some more arrows?
What does your prophecy say about, and I point at the red sky.
Who sent you here?
Somebody
we're just a band of concerned adventurers.
Interesting.
Give me. I'm gonna run with that, Pebble. I like that, Pebble. Give me a deception check.
What did he say?
We're a band of concerned adventurers.
Just some Concerned citizens here.
Yeah.
So concerned.
I'll be kind for now. He nods and kind of, you're not profiteers, are you? Not looking to just make some quick coin.
Nope.
Oh no!
No.
We hate money. Oh.
I don't speak for her, but we're not here for money on this one.
We're just curious. We noticed this red sky. And
Yeah.
some people knew that you know what's going on.
Well, some people are very kind. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I have my suspicions. But here, follow me. He shouts another order at some of his knights who run off, and then he leads you guys up to one of these encampment buildings up here, goes inside, and waves for you to follow. And we're going to pretend that that's inside because I didn't make an interior. Because I'm lazy. So, yes, you're all on the roof. He puts his hands on the table and reaches up. He's got a pendant that you guys can't quite see that he's fidgeting with. And he says, well, there is a prophecy that was handed down by some of the region intelligence years ago, the Adris intelligence, of a great shattering, a convergence of sorts. You'll have to forgive me. History wasn't my strong suit when I was coming up, but one of the portents was a red sky that emits from the tomb of the key.
Key to what?
That part, ma'am, I don't know. That's just what the tomb was called. The key actually refers to a figure from legend. It was a renowned paladin who became a planeswalker of sorts, and he was able to forge an alliance with a deity to help protect the binded worlds.
Is there anything more about this prophecy you can tell us? What happens further?
The convergence, from what I do recollect, is essentially a collapse of the ether realms. They all seem to be converging on one point. And the way it's described in the myth is vast lakes and oceans suddenly becoming barren, lush forests becoming ice fields, volcanoes appearing where mountain ranges once stood quiet. A general unpleasant time.
Does the prophecy make any mention of a way to thwart the collapse?
Ooh, she said thwart.
I did.
It very well may. I'm at my wit's end, to be honest. We've had strange reports coming in from the countryside, casualties in the field. I've got 3 scout groups that haven't returned. The paladins from the temple are headed out, God knows where. Are you all a trustworthy lot?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without hesitation.
He pauses for a second and then walks back to the doorway of his yurt and looks at the sky, contemplating for a moment. And he mutters quietly to himself, then steps back inside. He pulls off the necklace and hands it to you. Who's going to be the de facto leader for this moment?
I think, okay, Gray should do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So
Yeah, we'll throw Gray under the bus.
He pulls his pendant off, and the pendant is has a dragon motif, not expertly carved or anything, but you can tell that it's very old and that it is in the general shape of a dragon's head. And he says, take this to the far north, to the ruins of the Mage's Tower. This will open up the doorway to give you more answers.
Which way to the Mage's Tower?
To the far north.
I appreciate you entrusting us with this, and I hope to find answers and bring your town peace.
Well, I thank you. Do be careful on your journey. There are strange stories about.
Go on, yeah.
About
Strange stories about. Like, there's strange stories around.
about what?
Oh my God. I'm going to take away your inspiration point. That's your only warning. That's your only warning.
What
All right.
I should have got another one for playing that character
Before we
that
go-
way.
Sergeant Gales, I appreciate you giving us this pendant and answers, but is there anything else you can give to us to aid our quest?
We're stretched a little thin, given that we have to arm the reserve militia for the group. But you guys can restock if you need any ammunition. If you want to have your swords sharpened, your weapons looked after, and you can take some rations from our stores.
Perfect.
Would it prove wise to ask around about the ruins of the mages? Would any of the folks around here know anything?
The town wizard might have, but he left long ago. I did hear talk of a scholarly monk, a turtle, if you would believe it, who had been passing through the town. He had one eve when we were out on routine reconnaissance sweep of the outer edges of the town. We overheard him regarding some of the children with some tale of old. If you could track him down, he may be able to give you some information. He seemed like the sort.
Any idea where he might be hanging out?
Him and his orc companion were last seen also towards the north of the city, in the outer edges of the Wilderland.
Okay then. Upward we go.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
All right.
Tater Tots and I are stopping by the kitchen to pick up lots of food.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, rule of thumb generally is you guys have enough space in your backpacks to carry 10 rations. 1 ration per day is the general idea. We don't have any rangers in this party, which is a crying shame. But 10 rations per person should be good for now. And if any of you ever had a mind to go on some hunting for some food or looking to gather some water, you could probably persuade your DM to let you do that.
Does
Good.
Tater Tot have his handy dandy backpack for his rations?
That's what I was gonna say. Can he have his handy dandy backpack for his little rations?
Yes, his little pug-sized rations.
Great.
Does he
can't
have like
stop.
a pug saddle?
Yes. He has like a little bag. It's not a saddle. You can't ride him.
Dylan, you should get one of those
Does he
front baby
waddle with
holders
his
for him.
saddle?
Papusa.
Is that what those are called?
Or a Peggy Bjorn, right?
Yeah.
No, I have a bag that he travels in when he's tired. Like a satchel he goes in. How far away is this place again, by the way? Tater Tots is only gonna go so far.
He can estimate that the tower is probably about 3 to 4 days journey if you don't run
We
into
may
any trouble.
find the turtle and the orc before that.
We'll all be taking turns carrying Tater Tot.
I'm out petting the horses. And like,
All right. So you guys ready to hit the trail?
Let's do it.
How many can we, before we go, can we ask if there's horses we can take? Or
You
like
can ask, and he's
or-
going to give you a resounding no.
Dang.
No mounts.
Get a man.
Given the state of things in the town, they literally are stretched very thin. It's almost as if your DM wrote it that way.
None of us are sneaky.
All right. So you guys are going to head out, yes?
Yeah.
going
Would
north.
it be bad if we just ask for one, and then it can be our pack horse?
You can ask anything. But whether or not that an answer to that is yes is always up in the air. And given the state of where, just take some DM advice. You don't want another thing on the field that is likely to get killed.
I mean, it's better that side than one of us.
Oh
That
no,
is just
just come
cool.
back as an undead thing.
I mean, we already have one meat shield. We need a second.
It is
Thank you.
safe
Top
and
security.
sorry. Safe and sorry.
I don't want to kill a horse.
Yeah, I know.
Not gonna be
All right.
Understand.
So you guys are going to load up and head out, correct?
Yeah.
You guys are
Yeah.
heading.
Yeah, without
heading
my
north?
horse. A little sad. Okay, how about like a Shetland, a little mini horse? Okay, I'll give it up. Let's go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So
Tater Tot
I'm going to
is your
show you
mini
guys.
horse pug.
But I have to
I'm gonna-
carry him. He needs like his own like palanquin where everyone carries him.
All right.
Okay.
You guys see that big map?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you guys are in the province of Nagan Kekt, probably about the midway point, maybe just above the letter G. And you guys are going to head north, and then the trail will dictate that you also veer off a little bit towards the east, avoiding the diocese of Aimson. So you guys head out for your first for the first little bit, and again the sky stays red, the wind continues to howl. You guys, very oddly enough, don't come across any animals, no birds, no insects, no nothing. It's just the nature part of the woods is just deathly silent and almost non-existent, it seems. So you got your first day, really, nothing really of note happens. As you set up camp for the night, so that the sun goes down like it does, and then when the sun comes up, whoever is on.
Never eat tater tot. You would starve. Sorry.
When the sun comes up, you have moved. You moved through the night a bit. The sky is a little less red in the direction that you're heading, but if you're looking back towards the where Ulfdale is, it's still very red there. Almost like that redness in the sky is like a storm that's centered in that area. Anything you guys want to specifically try to do while you're on this little trek?
Keep our eyes peeled.
As we
Alright.
walk,
Stay alert.
I will
Alright.
like to gather herbs and medicinal things. There you
You
go.
guys, all right. So you guys make your way through your second day. You are able to find like some wild mushrooms and berries and things like that you can gather. Use whatever carrying container you may have on you to fill up if you so choose. And then you get to a little bit further, and the sun's going down again. You set up camp for the night. Now, everybody, give me a perception check.
All right, I'm perceiving something.
Oh no! I get
You
distracted
think,
by a
you think
butterfly.
that, Tom?
Wow, John, you ain't seen shit.
Yeah, I got distracted by a pretty butterfly.
Yes, Bard.
Micaiah, make sure that you go in and turn to toggle off disadvantage.
Oh, sorry. Let me do that again.
That's okay. I mean,
I forgot to turn it off from our last
Gray
night.
gets it. So we'll treat this as you guys hunkered down for the night, and Gray stayed up to keep watch or keep the second or third watch. It's into the night now. As you guys are sleeping in your little whatever sleeping D&D sleeping bags, and Gray is tending to the fire, she hears footsteps in the nearby brush.
I hear footsteps in nearby bus.
And now, bear in mind, this has been almost 2 full days of travel, and you have not run into anyone or anything.
Too quiet.
Too quiet.
Am I near anybody?
I didn't make a map for this because, again, I didn't want to. So yeah, I mean, you say, well, you guys made a camp, and the fire's in the center of the camp. You're by the fire, and everybody's in a ring around you.
I want to slowly draw my sword.
Is Tater Tots worried?
Yeah,
Does he
and
look upset?
try to whisper to whoever is closest to me to wake up. Are they asleep?
Probably, right?
Oh yeah, with that, I am passed out. Just
Sleeping hard.
yeah.
Okay,
Snoring
so
away.
are you going to draw your sword completely?
No, I'm just gonna like half take it out, just ready, but not fully threatening, but just armed and ready to go.
Okay. So as you're standing there at the ready, are you waking anybody up?
I whispered to people. Are they waking up?
I'll wake up. I'm a light sleeper.
Yeah, I wake up too.
If it alerts
Okay.
Tater Tots, I'll be up.
Okay, so you guys slowly kind of rouse to an alarmed Gray standing by the fire. What are you going to say to him, Gray?
Hello, I hear you out there. Who goes there?
A few moments of silence go by. Again, deathly silence. No crickets, no wind now. And then you hear kind of a disappointed grunt. And then out from the shadow of a nearby tree.
Okay, I wake up now.
You ass. Out from the shadow of the nearest large tree steps the she-orc that you guys saw at the pub.
Yay!
And on the opposite side,
Yeah, there we go.
on the opposite side of the camp, out from another large tree. Actually, he drops down out of the tree. Is a rather large turtle.
Cowabunga.
The she-orc is clearly very pensive. The turtle, though, has a relatively calm and pleasant demeanor as he slowly makes his way towards you all with his hands up. He does have a staff, but he uses it mostly to walk on, making no aggressive movements or anything. The she-orc keeps her distance, though, her hand resting on the top of her battle axe.
I'm going to ask them to identify themselves.
The people from the...
Like, what is your name?
Before we decided to do our thing.
The turtle comes walking up and gives you a low bow with his long neck. And then he looks up and he smiles and he says, introductions are indeed in order. My name is Gruk Dua, and this is my associate, Imprank Ugra. You'll have to forgive her. She's something of the strong, silent type.
Why were you spying on us from the bushes?
Well, if I'm being honest with you, we haven't quite determined what to make of you yet. My friend here is under the impression that you work for our enemy. I'm of a different mind. You could say we have a little bit of a wager going.
I see.
I want in. Just put me down for 20 gold pieces on us, and we're good.
He chuckles and gives you another nod and says, I like this one. The she-orc just grunts.
Yeah, there's a village with me right now.
You wouldn't have to be a scholarly monk, would you?
Scholarly. That's a word I would probably never use to describe myself. But I am indeed a monk. But please, before you question me any further, I must ask you one thing. You don't work for him, do you?
Are you talking about the stinky dwarf that just opened the hole in the sky? Is that him?
The dwarf? What?
Are you talking about
It wasn't a
the
dwarf. It was
we were talking to?
I thought it was a dwarf.
no,
I don't pay attention, apparently. The dude.
I am talking about the man that you all met in the tavern.
Yeah, the demon and man-clothes Shegarath dude.
He calls himself by many names, but these days he refers to himself as Saimar Keet. And we have been hunting him for some time. Now, I must be painfully clear with all of you. And as he says this, the she-orc kind of flexes a little bit. Anybody that would give a perception check here, I'm not asking you to, but if you did and you were to succeed, you can very much tell that these two are... Reese Twin can tell that these two are badasses.
Takes one to know one.
She flexes a little bit, and he says, now, don't mistake my meaning in saying this. We are not your enemy. At least I don't think we are. But we know what you did in the crypt.
What
Yeah,
exactly
we're
did
trying to
we
forget
do
that
in the
too.
crypt?
Yeah, no one's really explained that to us.
Yeah,
Didn't
we're
do
trying to
anything.
forget that whole thing.
He nods and moves a little bit closer into your camp, making his way towards your fire. He huddles down. His shell is shaped and sizable enough that he's able to kind of sit on the bottom edge of his shell. And then he uses his staff to kind of poke the fire a little bit and says, you had no way of knowing. Simar Keat is a deceptive entity. There was to what now?
Simar Keat?
I
That
know it.
is the name of the stranger who hired you all. Now, I believe the story he gave you was to go and find a key, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Well, what he deceived you in was that he himself served as the key, or rather the energy that lives within him. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but I know it comes from somewhere else. Somewhere unthought of, unheard of for more than a millennia here. What he sent you there to do was to remove the last vestige of a guardian ship that was left here on this plane, and in doing so, you allowed him to project that energy into the ethereal, and now he has caused the beginnings of a collapse. Tell me, are there any scholars among you? Any who have a taste for the arcana?
That'd be me.
I also.
He nods and says, I suspected as much. Tell me, were you ever instructed in the way of the multiplanes?
Yes. Seeing as I have a demonic patron, yes,
well,
I would be.
That solves that riddle.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I will type it out for you, Vagan.
I just
There
went
you
with,
go.
Math.
You're good. At least I think that's how I spelled it.
Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, so he nods and says, perhaps then if any of your friends lack an understanding, you can help to explain this a little bit. And he leans back and reaches into his little pouch with his weird turtle hand. And then he throws some powder over your bonfire, and a sort of illusion begins to rise up in the flames.
Ooh.
Pretty.
All of these sort of spherical collections of energy, all kind of moving around, sort of like you would imagine an orrery, a planetary, a planet model.
Sure.
But all different directions. And then he says, we exist somewhere in a vast multiverse, a collection of worlds, all living, breathing entities in and of themselves that move about in this nebulous matter. There were once tethers that bound some of these worlds together, but a great war eons ago, fought by entities that have long passed out into legend, severed these links. Now, that choice was made on purpose, for some of these worlds are rather unpleasant, rather nasty, and inhabited by literal nightmares. Simar Keat is an embodiment of sorts, some sort of entity from that eons long ago battle has found residence in a corporeal form, and he has been moving through this plane. This plane, for some reason, served as a linchpin, so to speak. And in shattering that lock, those tethers are now reforming. But something's changed in the ethos. Something's changed out there in the ethereal. Instead of these worlds moving in sync, now they are all being drawn together in one mass. As he says this, he moves his hands in front of his face near the fire, and all of those spheres of light collapse in on each other and just burst into dust.
Bring him back!
Like a dying star.
Yes, but many stars.
Yeah, I like the show. It's better than the village puppet box.
Can I show you something? And I take out the dragon pendant and show it to.
He regards it for a minute. May I?
Yes.
He takes it and he looks it over, turning it over in his long turtle claw fingers. And he says, "This is a token of Aedrus. You all don't strike me as followers of Aedrus. Are you followers of Aedrus?"
No, but it was given to us by Sergeant Gales, and we were told to travel to some, I don't know, ruins?
A place of power. Yeah.
Yes, there's a ruin of an ancient wizard's tower about a day and a half's journey north of here. You said Gales was his name?
Correct.
Ah, the sergeant at the Ulfdale Keep. That is an interesting development, he says, his orc companion giving another grunt. He looks over the pendant for a few more moments and then hands it back to you and says, "This is a very important token. Hang on to it. Do not lose it."
And I lost it.
He takes out. Do you have a map? Do you know exactly where you're going?
We don't.
North?
Yeah, we're supposed to be going north.
Do any of you have a map?
No. Do you have one?
It's in here.
He kind of squints his brow a little bit and looks at his partner and goes, "What kind of adventurers don't keep maps? That's just stupid."
We're ill prepared.
And then he gestures to her, and she kind of grunts and leans her great axe against the nearby tree and goes to her satchel and draws out a rolled up parchment, and then extends it to whoever's nearest her. We'll say Delamira. You're the closest one to her.
Thank you.
And when you unroll it, you can tell that it is a map of the local region. He gestures for you to bring it here and pulls out a piece of chalk from his turtle pouch and marks on it a direct route to get you to the ruins that you are looking for.
Much obliged.
Thank you so much.
Yay! Now we can
He
stop.
smiles and nods and tells you to take heed. Do not think lightly of these events.
Yeah, I guess it's worth asking them, like, what is their role in all this?
I was once a keeper, so to speak, of knowledge.
Okay.
You are a warlock, is that correct?
That is correct.
Ah, yes. Probably from a warlike tribe, I would assume. I was a keeper of knowledge for my temple.
Mhm.
And then he takes a very long sigh and looks down sadly. And he says, "And my temple, along with all of my brothers, fell because of Saimar Keat's deceptions." At that, his half-orc companion also grimaces and frowns, and he gestures to her and says, "Her tribe met the same fate. It is how we came to be companions.
Okay.
We've been hunting after him for some time. We had hoped to intervene before he was able to break the last lock, but unfortunately, we were too late."
What are you going to do now? Are you still hunting him? Is he at the ruins?
I don't suspect he is at those ruins, but then again, he is a wily sort, so you never know. We are indeed still hunting him and some of his agents of chaos, which you should also keep a weathered eye out for. If he catches wind of your deeds, he may send trouble your way.
How will we know his agents if we've crossed them?
He looks at you and blinks and then just gives you a very slow nod and says, I promise you will know. With the turn of events that's happened over the last 48 hours, I don't think they'll be trying to hide.
So we shouldn't tell anybody what we're doing. We should have a cover story.
That would most likely be wise.
We should be discreet, but the fact that they are now not hiding what they're doing may also be in our advantage.
This is also true. You all seem to have a collectively good heads on your shoulders, he says, picking himself up with his staff, brushing his shell off a little bit. Your journey takes you one direction and ours takes us to another, but I have a feeling we'll be crossing paths again. Do take heed and be careful.
Till next time.
Thank you so much for the help.
He gives a nod. As he does that, you all are focused on him. When you turn back around, the she-orc is just gone. As you're looking where she is, and turn back to him, he is just gone. I told you, these guys are badasses.
You're ninjas.
All right.
I like it.
So it is still the dead of night. So do you guys want to finish sleeping here and then make way next morning?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of the night goes by with no happenings. You wake up the next day. It's cloudier, but not weird red clouds. A light drizzle of rain. And as you head.
My favorite.
Oh, that wasn't to me. Yeah. So you make your way through the light drizzle of rain, and eventually you come upon a secluded wooded area. Which let me bring up the next map. Woo woo! Bam. Now it is rainy and a bit foggy, so visibility is a little bit of a challenge. As you guys come, all come in, give me a very clear, very distinct, on-purpose marching order.
Technical difficulties.
We should figure out some songs and just play them together.
I have a couple, but we're not like walking and stuff, so.
Oh, you do?
I had pre-wrote some, but they are not for this situation.
Apparently, I think you should redirect your more towards filling in the void of these situations.
The technical difficulty was
my map won't load, but I got a big bag of M&M's. This brought to you by